Hello, my name is Olivia Davis from PaperOffice Support. I warmly welcome you to PaperOffice Professional Knowledge Part 2. In this episode, I will first deal with answering the questions of the webinar participants, left open from Part 1, and afterwards we will continue with the main subject, the so-called DropPage. First to the questions from Part 1. You wanted to know how to transfer an email from Microsoft Outlook to PaperOffice, how the audit-proof storage of the emails can be guaranteed, and how an email is archived in relation to the process. As a short answer isn't possible, it was decided to demonstrate it at the beginning of this webinar. The transfer of your Outlook emails to PaperOffice can be done in two different ways. Then let's get started. First option is to select any email in your Outlook and then click on the button Transfer to PaperOffice. The transfer is also done via the context menu here. The email is immediately transferred to PaperOffice, and the display with the PIA storage dialog opens. As you can see, the email content is shown first, and this number 1 up here on the left means that there's another file in the queue. In our case, this is the email attachment. The storage dialog has already been described in detail in the first part, so I skip it and highly recommend you to watch the previous webinar. First step is to go directly to the first tab, Basic, and select the folder in which you want to save the email. In this case, we click on the folder Email and then Save Email. Immediately afterwards, the email attachment is analyzed. The PIA storage dialog enables us to save the email attachment in a different folder as the actual email. Click on the Basic tab and select another folder, in this case, Kitchen for Me, and click on Save Attachment. If you now click on the folder name Email, you see the email that was saved first, and if you click on Kitchen for Me, then you see the email attachment accordingly. Many are probably wondering now, and how do I know later that this document belongs to the email? Here on the right in the menu bar, there is a new symbol. This envelope shows that this document was saved as an email attachment. The emails are treated like documents in PaperOffice, which means that you can use the functions of keywording, keyword search, and security, as they are saved accordingly to the German law on document storage, the so-called GoBD. The compliance is reached if the principles of transparency and traceability are fulfilled. The envelope function links the document and the email for later tracking. For example, the tax office auditor can recognize the logical relationship between an invoice received by email, the email itself, and the associated order of a product. You have all options such as keywording, keyword search, and security because all emails from PaperOffice are treated like documents. So this was the first storage method. Let's continue with the second one, by having an Outlook folder monitored. Like here, for example, I created this folder, PaperOffice. It's empty now. Let's go back to PaperOffice. We have to set up a monitoring for this new Outlook folder. But before you activate monitoring in the settings, you first have to define a storage mask that you can later assign to the monitoring process. To do this, I click on Settings in the upper right corner and select Document Templates and Storage Masks, and here I create a new storage mask. If you would like to learn more details about storage masks, watch the webinar Automated Document Storage with PaperOffice DMS. We'll set up just the minimum settings for a storage mask. First, click on the Select button and select any folder on the left. We choose the folder Email. Optionally, you can now also generate a subfolder, for example, year/month. That's enough for my basic settings. The document name with the variable name, document file name, means nothing else, such as taking over the existing document name. To confirm the settings, click on Save Changes. PaperOffice asks you to define the name for the new storage mask. Use a logical name. In our case, we choose Outlook and click on OK to confirm. Now we have a storage mask and can set up the Outlook monitoring. For this, I go into Automation and Monitoring. click on Add New Monitoring and select the monitoring type Outlook Connect, Outlook Monitoring. In the selection list, select the monitored folder, PaperOffice. Outlook monitoring runs in conjunction with PIA, the AI. That's why we created a storage mask and will assign it here right away. You select the item Use Server Mode and select the storage mask that was just created. And you choose Execute PIA Autofill and PIA Autocontact additionally after the storage mask. Like this, PaperOffice reads as much data as possible from the document in advance during the document analysis, and consequently, keywords are created automatically. So you write a description for the monitoring, activate it by ticking the box, and click on Add. As you see, PaperOffice informs us that we have to restart Outlook so that the monitoring is taken over correctly. You click on OK. Close this window and restart Outlook. Short note on the Outlook monitoring function. After restarting or activation, new emails from the monitorable folder are saved to PaperOffice. Means if you already have existing emails in the folder, they will not be transferred to PaperOffice, only those that come into the folder after activation of the monitoring process. We've restarted Outlook. PaperOffice monitoring is working. If you want to have even more automatized processes, create additional rules in Outlook itself. Email recognition is running in the background, and now you can see the new email and the attachment, as they are available now in the subfolders year and month. Compared to the first storage method, it is not possible to define different storage folders for an email here. This was the Outlook email archiving. We will now continue with the main topic, DropPage. But what actually is DropPage? The DropPage module enables you to upload files and documents of any kind directly to PaperOffice via a website where documents can be uploaded by using a password. In the first place, you have to create a new folder in PaperOffice to integrate it later in the settings. This is the folder where the documents will appear later. Simply create a subfolder under Common Inbox and name it DropPage. If you want to, you can change the folder icon. Since the DropPage is a URL, you could use the www icon. Okay, then we'll go to the DropPage setup. As always, open the settings. Choose Automation and Monitoring, and add New Monitoring. Choose DropPage Personalized Website. In the following steps, you will learn how to personalize the DropPage. The most important and first step, the web address. The URL would look like this: https://droppage.paperoffice.com/ and then we can add our own name. By default, a random number is displayed here. We name this page Sample Company Uploader. Make sure that there are no spaces, but instead add a /sample company -uploader. The URL can also be integrated into your own website using an iframe. Give your web designer the link and he or she will be able to integrate it into your website. Let's see an example of a DropPage. This page has been generated and is used by our PaperOffice customers to upload important documents. In this way, the documents are transmitted to PaperOffice in a compliant manner. They go directly to the person in charge and never get lost. Technically speaking, the DropPage was embedded in an iframe that looks like a web page, but is an embedded web page. Let's go back to our new DropPage. It is very important to click on Check Availability to ensure that this URL is available. If there is an error, the page isn't available, you cannot continue. You can personalize the whole DropPage. Write a short greeting at the top and maybe some instructions for your customers. You choose the background color, and if you wish, you can add a picture as well. Define the Submit button and the message after the uploading. Let's start with the heading for the page, such as Welcome to PaperOffice. In the next field, add an instruction. Please upload all documents. We will contact you shortly. You can also personalize the button that appears afterwards for sending. Let's name the button Send. On the right, you define if the DropPage has a password. It's an important step for security. If you don't enter anything, anyone could upload a document. That's why we define a password, 1234. It is possible to save a customer-defined password in the integrated PaperOffice contact system. Click on the left in order to open your contacts. Choose the enterprise, in this case, Kitchen for me. Click on the right side on Communication, and now you can store 1234 as password for PDF encryption. Confirm by saving the changes. Let's go back to the DropPage itself. In the next step, you set the background color for the page by clicking on the color. Now you define which file formats are allowed. As you see, you can choose different formats such as only PDFs, PDFs and images, etc. We'll leave it as is all supported formats. The maximum file size per upload can also be specified by clicking on the next selection list. Here we can choose between 1 megabyte and 50 megabytes. We leave the choice at 50 MB, as well as the maximum number of files per upload. Here you can select from 1 file up to 10 by clicking in the selection list. On the right side, you can change the logo. A custom logo for the site is set by clicking on the default one and simply choosing another from the file system. We will use the following picture from our folder and click on Open. Thanks to the slider, you can adjust the image. Click on Save. In the next field, you can add a note after the upload of the files. This message is as well for your customers. It will be displayed after the documents have been submitted. For example, successfully uploaded. Thank you. Hereafter, you have the possibility to test your DropPage. As within any monitoring, we have two options. We can set up monitoring with PIA in server mode or without. Previously, we haven't defined a storage mask for this monitoring. Therefore, we select Switched Off and Optimized for bulk import. Last but not least, you have to choose the storage folder. As you remember, we've already created it in the beginning, the DropPage folder with the custom icon. If you would like to, you could assign a workflow, document status, or document type, but we'll leave it like this. Before you save your DropPage, don't forget to define a description for this monitoring, and activate the monitoring by putting a checkmark right here. Finally, click on Save Changes. If you still want to edit the DropPage afterwards, simply choose the entry in the monitoring list. Click on the Edit Monitoring button. Please note that the page will be deactivated while it is being edited. Let's open it. This is how your personalized DropPage looks. Let's change quickly the background color. Save changes and reload the page to see them. Now let's upload a file. By clicking the plus icon and selecting a file. For example, this phone bill, click on Open. The green icon with a checkmark notifies that the file was uploaded successfully. Previously, you defined that up to 10 files can be uploaded. Now there are 9 more left. We can add a file as well with a simple drag and drop into this field here. If you want to delete the file, move the mouse over the green checkmark that will turn red and you can delete the file. It's important to know that you can open this link from a smartphone or tablet. It's also possible to drop photos or video recordings. To finish the uploading, you simply click on Send. We enter the previously set password 1234 and confirm with the OK button. Now you see the message that we established in the settings before. Both files are transferred to PaperOffice. When the upload has been completed, the notification will be displayed. This takes a little while. In the meantime, you can continue with the uploading process. By clicking on New Upload, I can upload new files as the drop page is newly displayed, and you see the 2 new files in the folder. And like any other monitoring, of course, you could scan the documents with PIA the AI. Then you would have to define the storage mask. For this, we quickly create a new storage mask. We continue directly to the selection of a folder where we want to save the files. We will use our DropPage folder for this. Now you activate the option with the automatic subfolder, select Year, and if you want to define other keywords, you can do this under Advanced, Receipt, Custom. For further information concerning these functions, please consult the first part of this webinar, the PaperOffice Expert Knowledge Part 1. When we finished, we click on Save Changes, enter the name, DropPage. That will be the name of our storage mask, and we click on OK. Now go back to Automation, select the DropPage monitoring we created earlier, click Edit Monitoring. Afterwards, scroll down till you see Switched Off and Optimized for Bulk Import. Now change to Use Server Mode and select the storage mask we've just created, DropPage. You also have the option to use PIA Autofill. This way, PaperOffice scans the information from the document in advance, such as document date, document type, and so on. At the end, click on Save Changes. Now we have all the benefits of PIA, the AI. This means that the files that are uploaded to PaperOffice via the DropPage now are stored in the folder that has been set up via the storage mask. Very important. If a document that has already been learned in with its own storage mask, PaperOffice recognizes and stores it in the predefined folder. Learned in document templates always have priority. The functionality of the DropPage itself remains the same, with or without storage mask. PaperOffice automatically imports the files and creates also subfolders in our DropPage folder. As you see, 2022, please be aware that PaperOffice does not have to be active to upload a document. We could now take a picture with our mobile phone and upload it to DropPage. Next time you start PaperOffice, the files will be imported. You can create a separate DropPage with individual specifications for each customer or client. It is possible to set up several custom pages in PaperOffice and assign different rules to each page and automatically store document information. DropPage is very diverse and all industries can benefit from it, such as a tax consultant office that stores a user-defined address for each client to upload tax-related invoices and other documents, or a car dealership for leasing contracts, or a real estate agency for rental contracts and customer self-assessment. The customer can add documents himself, which are archived directly in PaperOffice. Use the advantages of DropPage and upload easily documents to PaperOffice externally. Thank you for your attention, and the chat for your questions will be activated now, where my colleague will answer your questions. Thank you for watching and for participating.
Many thanks to my colleague Olivia. I'll take over from now on. My name is Josh Schneider from PaperOffice Technical Support. I hope you enjoyed the webinar, and I will try to answer all your questions. Then we can get started. Wait a minute, I'm going over to the questions. The first question, I'll read it out to you. Thank you for the interesting webinar. What is the price for using DropPage? Is there a written guide how to use it? Well, good question. I'll answer it like this. It's free. Because DropPage is the module included free of charge when you use the PaperOffice online services. In any case, you should keep online services active at all times in order to receive necessary releases, version updates, support services, and much more. So yes, basically it is for free for you. Written instructions can be found if you go to our ComDesk page, enter DropPage in the search field on the right now, and then DropPage settings. everything is in here. I hope this answered your question. Short feedback please in the chat. Yes, thank you very much. Next question. Can an infinite number of drop pages be made? Yes, of course. Quite simply, as always, go to Settings, Automation and Monitors, and as with any monitoring, click on Add New Monitoring here. Then a new drop page of course, and here you can add as many drop pages as you need. Select here as we have already seen from my colleague. And then you would have 2, 3, 4, etc. drop pages. It is very good, for example, if you have different clients. You can set up a drop page for each tenant, and he can then upload the documents, password protected, and you get all documents in different files with different rules. I stop here again. In principle, yes, of course, you can set up as many as you need. Fine. Let's continue. Then, next question. I didn't quite understand the iframe integration. Could you slowly show it step by step? Absolutely, yes, of course. Moment. Then I go back to Chrome here. That's the drop page itself. With this URL, we can integrate this page into our own page. I'm going back to our site here. That's our drop page. It's integrated with PaperOffice.com. And we can do that thanks to an iframe. This can be easily implemented with the help of your IT specialist or web developer. He or she can help you with that. But internally it looks like this. I click on View Page Source. Wait a minute, I scroll down, search for iframe. There it is, exactly. Only with this section here we can integrate with an iframe into our page. This means the developer only has to add this section, and that is then displayed on your own website. Okay, that was a bit about the iframe. I'm going through all the questions that have come in. All questions that do not belong to the current topic of the webinar or are too technical will be addressed extensively in the upcoming webinar, or you will be contacted by my colleague and you will receive a detailed answer. Good, let's continue. Oh, that's a good question. Where are the files stored, the drop page files, when my PaperOffice is switched off? That's a very good question. First of all, as you know, when PaperOffice is online, so to speak, the files are of course stored in your database. This means the user who uploads the files thanks to the drop page site uploads them directly to PaperOffice, to the local database, or to the database of your NAS. However, if PaperOffice has been switched off, the files are cached as binary files on a PaperOffice server. And as soon as you start PaperOffice again and the monitoring is started, the files are streamed to PaperOffice. And of course, also removed from the PaperOffice server. All external files that are processed via the PaperOffice online services, which also includes drop page, are subject to the highest data protection regulations and are therefore encrypted to a high degree by the master key of the respective user account according to the Zero Knowledge policy. Well, I think the question has been answered extensively. So, I'm going to the next one. Can I customize the page? Is it possible to change the interface, i.e., the style of the drop page interface? Yes, of course. We have already shown the steps in the webinar. We have already shown what you can change. I'll go back into the settings. Moment. So you can customize anything you can do here. We can change everything there, logo, file formats, description, etc. But if you mean this, the whole style here, that's unfortunately not possible. This is a finished page. You can only change everything in here. I hope that's what you meant by the question. Yes, okay, exactly. Thank you for your feedback. Okay, move on. I'll keep looking at the questions here. How can I use a different photo? By photo, do you mean the logo here? Can you give me a quick reply via chat so I know that's what you mean? Okay, exactly, all right. That's what you mean. We just had that. Quite simply here in Settings, I'm already in here. Just click on the logo here and then I can select a file in the next step. What it says here with PNG, and the size is simply the recommended size and format. You can also use a JPEG file for your logo. Okay, next question. Let's see here, moment. The next question is directly related to the previous one. What format can the logo have? I just answered that. Click on it and select a different format for the file format. You can then also use a JPG. Save changes and then the new logo would be here. Good, question answered. Further question. Good. How is the URL generated, from which we can access? Thanks in advance. The URL up here that we can see here is already a finished URL. So PaperOffice accesses this URL. The only thing we can then change is, as I said, the back part. After the slash here. If we first set up a new DropPage page, we have seen that PaperOffice first assigns a random name. This designation is unique. Of course, nobody can remember this, so we can change it freely. Here in front, it always stays the same, and behind the slash here you can change it. Okay, wait a minute, I'm reading through here. Lots of ideas for future topics. That's very good. Please share the topic suggestions. If no webinars or extensive workshops have been held on this yet, then we will of course take the topic into account. Otherwise, we always try to follow the customer's wishes. Is also a good question, the next one. Can I bulk upload files? So you probably mean some kind of mass upload. Unfortunately, no. Is also limited for security reasons for and up to a certain number of files to be uploaded. So answer is no. Here we have another question, can I use DropPage to upload the files from a mobile device? Well, I think it was briefly mentioned in the webinar that it's possible. If you call up this URL directly from your smartphone, you can also upload files from your smartphone after security clearance. If you click on the plus symbol here from your smartphone, you even have the option to upload the photos or videos that have been saved on your smartphone. Simply open this link from your smartphone. Wait a minute, we even have a video of what it looks like right here on our main site. There we have it. So go to www.paperoffice.com and scroll down. This is what it would look like then. I don't know if you can see it well here. As you can see right now, click on the plus sign, and the file is already in PaperOffice. Good, let's continue. Not many questions remain about DropPage. Let's see, wait, I'll do another one here. If I upload a photo directly, then it will be a JPG, i.e. an image. Yes, of course, if we upload a photo, it is an image, i.e. JPG. Will an OCR text recognition then be carried out? Yes, of course. Great question. In general, everything you save in PaperOffice is OCR text recognized. It doesn't matter whether it's a digital document, a PDF, Word, or a direct photo, PaperOffice always carries out text recognition. Of course, if the image is sharp enough, good text recognition will be performed. You can also use the keyword search as normal. So I'll go into the questions for a moment. Some questions are repeated. Everyone who took part in the webinar will then receive the link to the recorded webinar. And the video will also be uploaded to our YouTube channel, i.e. youtube.com/PaperOfficeEN. Good. That's it for today's webinar. Thank you very much for watching and participating. I hope you enjoyed it. We look forward to your comments and suggestions. If you have any questions, you can always contact us via our website or the COM desk page. I say goodbye now and hope to see you again at the next webinar. Thank you.